This is the Dallas Morning News. It's Thursday, February 19th. A bit on the windy side this morning with a mix of sun and clouds today. The high will be 79 with a low tonight of 43. Now that wind will usher in some colder temps for the next few days, with highs dropping to the upper 50s by the weekend. Here are today's headlines. In the wake of the recent ICE crackdown in Minneapolis, students across Texas and the country are facing potential consequences for making their voices heard. In Texas, high-ranking state officials, including Governor Greg Abbott and Attorney General Ken Paxton, have threatened sanctions against students and schools that facilitate their protests. Texas officials have threatened to strip funding from districts, decertify teachers, and replace elected trustees with a state-appointed board of managers. In an already volatile political moment, this crackdown on student protests has once again escalated a debate over free speech in public schools. School administrators are squeezed between upholding the First Amendment rights of students and caving to pressures from Texas leaders who have warned of state takeovers. Texas officials have started to pounce on calls to impose consequences. Paxton is probing Dallas ISD for facilitating and failing to keep students safe and accountable during the protests. Dallas ISD, Northeast ISD in San Antonio, and Manor ISD near Austin must hand over documents regarding excused absence policies, security protocols, and internal communications about the protests. Paxton's demands come on the heels of a similar investigation he opened into Austin ISD on February 2nd. Tensions ratcheted up after students walked out of the classroom to the Texas Capitol in January, leading Abbott to urge officials to take action. In other news, what did not air on CBS may be doing more for James Talarico than if it had. Late-night host Stephen Colbert said his interview with the Democratic Senate candidate was blocked Monday, and Talarico turned the dust-up into a rallying cry, telling supporters Tuesday night that federal regulators had pressured CBS, an assertion the network disputes. The segment, posted online instead, had racked up more than 5 million YouTube views by early Wednesday, and Talarico boasted on social media his campaign had raised $2.5 million in 24 hours after the FCC banned our Colbert interview. At a Get Out the Vote event, Talarico cast the incident as a fight over free speech and corporate power, accusing President Donald Trump's federal regulators of having colluded with corporate media executives at CBS to keep his Colbert interview off the air. CBS has disputed Colbert's assertion that network attorneys barred the interview from airing. The company said it was advised that broadcasting the segment could trigger FCC equal time rules requiring other candidates in the race be given similar exposure. Next up, a Collin County jury has sentenced a father of 6 to life in prison for repeatedly physically abusing and starving his children. In 2021, 28-year-old Kevin Dixon of Princeton was accused by the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services of failing to provide proper living conditions for his 6 children. He was also warned of his excessive discipline methods. In February of last year, DFPS learned that 5 of his children had become severely malnourished, weighed far less than normal for their ages, and had numerous marks and permanent scars across their bodies. All the children were under 10 years old, with the youngest being 2. In interviews with child advocates, the children described physical abuse, severe neglect, being deprived of food, and repeatedly hit with belts and cords. Dixon pled guilty and was sentenced on 7 counts of injury to a child, causing serious bodily injury. And the Dallas Mavericks announced on Wednesday that guard Kyrie Irving will not return to play this season as he continues his recovery from ACL surgery performed last year. Irving has made steady progress in rehabilitation, according to the team, and will remain actively engaged with the Mavs through the remainder of the season. Irving will continue his rehab under the supervision of the Mavericks medical and performance staff for the remainder of the year. Thanks for listening. For more on today's stories and the latest breaking news, visit dallasnews.com. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow morning with more from the Dallas Morning News.